Welcome to Mysteries, Myths, and Legends. I'm Taylor.
I'm Savannah.
And welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Happy 90th episode.
Wowzers. That's a long time, guys.
Yeah,
Wow.
it is.
Shuck, I know we just say that often, but it just keeps getting longer, so.
I mean,
sorry.
it just feels like we just started.
I know, but really it's been
Yeah. forever. Yeah.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
The wowzers. That's even bigger wowzers. Shout out to you guys for listening, honestly.
Yeah.
So fun. Also, I want to apologize because I am sick. You know, it happens, I guess.
Yeah.
And I sound a little bit bad and I'm coughing. So sorry. I'm going to try to, hide all of that from you guys, obviously, but.
Yeah, it honestly, it doesn't sound too bad, though. I don't know.
I'm
think
definitely
when
on the
you're-
mend.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
when
way
you're
worse.
sick yourself, you can hear it and stuff with, yourself more than other people can sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Definitely. And also, currently, while recording this, I'm sitting in the middle of Hurricane Nicole, and she's whipping that wind, boys. Whipping it outside.
See, you were texting me about a hurricane. I did not even know that there was a hurricane right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure, is it raining in Winston too?
It is raining.
It's because of the hurricane.
Yeah, it's raining. It started raining today, and then it will all day tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's Nicole. So, hopefully Nicole doesn't do too much damage.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's hurricane season, so we do in fact hate that around here.
Yeah.
So,
but it's okay.
But if you hear some boom, crackles, or whatever, it's just some thunder. There's storms. And honestly, I may or may not be in a tornado watch right now.
Oh no.
Hopefully we don't get blown away, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Also, I just wanted to mention that I was on this Charlie Puth podcast, and I did, in fact, already forget the name of it and did not write it down. I forgot that's what I was looking up before the show. But anyway, if you guys are listening from that, hi, welcome to this crazy show. Yeah, but other than that, I don't really have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, I don't have anything else, but we could get into my little story here.
Let's do it.
So my story is it's kind of different today. So I was sitting there thinking about what am I going to do this week? I don't know. And I didn't really, I think I was just thinking with my brain instead of Googling things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's always good.
Because usually I'll go on and just search legends or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I bet you do that too.
I do.
But no, I was just thinking about random things, and I was like, spiders.
Ew.
They're creepy.
Ew.
No, this will give you a different perspective on spiders.
Okay, good.
So I decided to do my story this week on different cultures, stories of spiders.
Oh, that's very interesting. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into it. Most of these cultures actually show them as good. So,
Yeah, no, I have definitely heard many times in my life that they're good luck. I personally do not see it that way, but I have a really big fear. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's start with a Native American tribe, the Hopi. In their story of creation of the world, there's a spider woman, or also called a spider grandmother.
That feels like me, honestly.
You're the spider grandmother.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, she is the goddess of the earth.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right.
Yeah. And she will take the shape of an old woman, grandmother, or a common spider in many stories. So, in the story of creation, the grandmother spider and the sun god, Tawa, they create the first living beings together.
Ooh,
So,
okay.
So they will, they created lesser gods and the earth and its creatures. And Tawa, the sun god, she or he, honestly, there were a few different sources that said that it was a he and some that said that it was a she. So maybe I should just say they. I don't know.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like gods don't have a gender.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that too. Well, anyways, Tawa conceptualizes the first man and woman, and the Spider Woman molds them from clay. And they give them souls and like sing them to life.
What? That's cool.
So yeah, it's pretty cool. Honestly, spiders, like, I don't know if they can like mold things from clay, but the fact that they weave,
Dude, they
I
be
think that,
weaving them
yeah,
webs.
like that definitely has, you know, influence on this story probably.
For sure.
So yeah, that's cool. So I guess before there was anything, there was a spider and the sun. And then this next story is another Native American story, and it's kind of similar, in some ways. This is a Cherokee story. So they also have grandmother spider, and she brought light to the world.
Oh.
Yeah, so in the early times, everything was dark, and there was like nobody could see, because the sun was on the other side of the world. Like, that's kind of like how it is now, honestly, because it's winter and
Yeah. It's dark.
Yeah, I feel like it's constantly dark. I seriously like
Literally. It's
I hate
bad
it.
already. It's been like 2 days or 3 days for us, like recording, and it's already bad.
I know. It's not fun. But anyways, so the animals of the earth, they all agreed that somebody should go steal some light and bring it back so everybody could see. A possum and a buzzard, they tried to go get the sun, and they failed. They came back with a burnt tail and burnt feathers.
You know what this is giving? It's giving Despicable Me when Groot tried to take the moon.
Honestly, that's true. But he didn't burn himself because it's,
Yeah, he
cold.
didn't.
But
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. He's like, I want to steal the moon.
We'll steal the moon.
No, they're still in the sun. But honestly, more impossible to steal the
That's
sun.
far more. Why did they ever think they could do that?
Well, I mean, grandmother spider did it though.
That's because she's a god.
Yeah, so she said that she would go and try to get the light, and made a bowl of clay and rolled it to the sun.
Oh.
And she took some of it, or she took the sun and put it in the bowl and then rolled it home. And traveled from east to west, just like the sun rises today. And brought sun to her people. So
Aw, that's so sweet.
So that's how we have the sun today. Supposedly.
I like that story.
Yeah. See, spiders are good in some of these stories,
I guess.
Okay, so the next one I have from ancient Greece. And you might know this one. I think I might have heard this before. It's about Arachne. So Arachne, she was a woman who said that she was the best weaver around, and everybody else agreed that she was this really great weaver. And the goddess Athena thought that her own work was better. So they had a contest.
Ooh, we love a good contest.
Yeah. So they had a contest to see who was the best weaver, and Arachne was better.
Period.
Yeah. So she kind of won, but Athena was like mad about it.
Of course she was.
Yeah. So you know what she went and did? She destroyed Arachne's work.
Wow. So disrespectful.
Yeah. Yep. And Arachne was so distraught from this interaction that she went to go hang herself.
No.
Which is really
Arachne,
sad.
No.
Yes. But Athena, she turned the rope into a cobweb and Arachne into a spider.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's better.
So she's basically like, if you're going to keep weaving all day, you're going to become a spider.
Yeah. Wow. Mean.
Yeah, honestly. But this is where the word arachnid comes from.
Yeah, that makes
So,
sense.
yeah. Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of our English words come from ancient Greek
Oh,
stories.
definitely, definitely. And I definitely did like hear that story before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know where though.
Yeah. Well, somewhere. I don't know. I might have heard it because I took Latin in high school,
Why
and like a
would you
lot of
choose to
those.
do the hardest language?
Well, because at my school it wasn't the hardest.
Oh, what was the hardest?
Well, probably like French or something.
Yeah,
But
true.
it's just because the teacher, she was really nice,
Mm-hmm.
and she would, our school, like being near Philadelphia, like we had pretzel day every Wednesday.
What? Are
Yeah,
you serious?
because there's like this, pretzels in Philly are a big thing. If you
Listen,
didn't know
pretzels are like
this.
my favorite thing in the whole world. So the fact that we don't have a pretzel day makes me very sad. Every Wednesday?
Yeah, because this is such a tangent, but it doesn't matter. Um, there's this place called the Philly Pretzel Factory, and it's just like a chain of like pretzels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I don't know, other brands might make them too, but Philly Pretzel Factory ones are like the best ones. And they're like sort of the pretzels that are shaped like a eight,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
if you know what I'm talking about, that
Mm-hmm.
are all like together in like,
Yeah.
you break them apart.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody would, it was honestly kind of weird. Like, now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure the school just like had this man come in with like a bunch of pretzels and he would sell them for like 75 cents each.
That is really weird. Very weird.
I'm
But
like,
cool, I like it.
now that I think about it, like, who was this guy? I don't know. But
Right.
he would sell his pretzels. Yeah.
Love
I think
that.
it was either Wednesdays or Thursdays we would have pretzel day.
Wow, I love that. I do not for the life of me remember how we got started talking about that though. So that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, because I was talking about Latin class.
Oh yeah, Latin.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, but our teacher would buy us pretzels every week, so
That's so
that was
nice.
fun.
That's so nice.
She was the nicest, and she also there's a lot I could say about her. Honestly, she's kind of crazy,
Oh, I know.
but
I had, you know what? My school had a crazy Latin teacher too.
yeah,
I feel like maybe it
yeah,
was every school.
yeah. Well,
Let us know.
uh huh.
Let us know for this random tangent. Anyway, back to
Yeah,
spiders.
yeah. I mean, I think I mainly picked it because I wanted to know like root words like this,
No,
like
that is
knowing
smart. That's
arachnid
definitely
and stuff.
smart.
So yeah. Anyways, um, yeah. So that's where arachnid comes from. The story of Arachne. Okay, so my next one is from Africa, in Ghana specifically. So in like West Africa, originated in Ghana, but like West Africa, there is a spider who is a trickster god named Anansi,
Mm,
I think.
that's a cool name.
Anansi. Honestly, I'm really bad. I see every
We all
time I'm
know.
like,
We know.
I literally, before we started recording too, I scanned my notes. I was like, is there any words I need to look up before I start this? I should have looked this up.
It's fine.
It's like Anansi or Anansi. I don't know, something like that.
Somebody out there knows.
Yes, but it's their trickster god, and I kind of love that. You know?
That's what I imagine a spider to be. A trickster god.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's always stirring up mischief. Honestly, just like the other trickster god that we're more familiar with, Loki.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Loki. Oh,
You know?
he would be a little spider trickster god.
I think, yeah, there's a lot of different cultures that have trickster gods. I think they're all pretty similar.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Definitely.
But this god's also associated with creation and wisdom, or like storytelling, which kind of makes sense because like when you're trying to be like mischievous and stuff, you have to be like creative with your words and be wise enough to trick people, you know
Yeah, for sure.
so I can see how that's connected. So he was also the god of all like knowledge of stories and like this skill and wisdom in speech. So
Wow.
very cool.
That's very cool.
And he, this description definitely gives me Loki too. He triumphs over his more powerful opponents through his use of cunning, creativity, and wit.
Definitely.
Yeah. So same type of god. And he appears as a man, or in other stories, he's an anthropomorphized spider.
What
So like
does
not
that
even just a
mean?
normal spider, but like a spider with a human face.
Oh, okay, that's even more scary.
Honestly, true.
I would rather see a regular spider.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like at least then like oh, this is just a spider. It's not the god.
It's not the god. Yeah, exactly.
Or he also can appear as a human with spider-like features.
Oh, like 8 legs.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So interesting. And he has a family in several folk tales. He has a wife and 4 sons and a daughter.
He's got a big
So,
family.
family man. Um, and I actually have a story here to sort of tell you. So, in this story, he wants more knowledge, so he gathers all the wisdom that he could find. He like went all over the world and just like collected all this wisdom and put it in a pot. And he was like, I don't want anybody to get any of this. Like, it's all mine. I'm taking it forever.
Greedy.
Yeah, honestly. So he didn't think it was safe enough in the pot, though. So he's like, I'm going to put it, like, in the top of a tree. So he goes to a tree in the forest, and his son was following him at a distance to see what he was up to.
A little baby mischievous god.
Yeah, he's like, wait, what is my dad doing? And he couldn't bring the pot up the tree because it was too heavy, like full of wisdom.
Yeah, makes sense.
But then, so he tied it to the front of him and tried to climb up and couldn't because, like, it was getting in the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then his son, like, comes out of nowhere and is like, why don't you tie that to your back and climb up like that? And
Like,
then he's like,
duh.
oh, yeah, obviously.
Like, literally, duh. Why did you not think of that?
Yeah. But, Anansi, he was like annoyed that his son was there, like trying to tell him what to do. And
Okay.
yeah, and the pot actually slipped and fell
Well,
and it
good.
broke.
Well, good.
Yeah. Yeah, so it broke and it also started raining at this time. And all the wisdom spilled out and ended up getting washed into the rivers and then into the sea.
Wow.
So it got back spread out throughout the world again.
Yep, that's what he gets for being greedy.
Yeah, so he failed to seal the world's wisdom, and little of it lives in everyone.
Ooh.
So, you know. And also there was like a snide comment made. I think it was like his son might have said it, like, if you're gonna have all this wisdom and like how can this young boy just like outsmart you,
Right, exactly.
like basically.
Exactly.
Yeah, I didn't write down the exact one, but yeah, so yeah, I don't know, according to this West African tale, he's very smart. Spiders are very smart.
I would definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, like, over the summer when I had an infestation? I think I mentioned it
Yes.
on the podcast.
Yeah.
They were everywhere.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
And I can confirm they're smart.
Mm-hmm.
I had to deal with too many of them.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to think about that. I'm just like
Yeah,
thinking about
me
spiders
neither.
everywhere. Ugh. Okay. Well, I have a few more to go over. A few other different cultures. So there's also a Celtic goddess that is sometimes associated with spiders because she's a weaver of fate. The goddess Arian rod. I think I'm saying that correctly. And spiders, just in general, are like typically beneficial in this culture. And they're like, the spiders have ties to like spinning looms and weaving, of course.
Of course.
You know, whenever I think of a spider, I'm just thinking like, ugh, get that thing away from me.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
But like, they're actually so cool like that they can do all that, you know?
No, they really are. And although I hated being infested, it was so cool because the webs, like in the sun, although horrifying, are very intricate and cool to look at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Honestly, like spiders, like it's kind of weird that we're so scared of them because like a lot of them, most of them are not poisonous at all or venomous or anything. Yeah. And the one, like the safe ones and stuff, all they do is kill the other bugs that we don't want around.
Yeah, but I think they're just scary. Like they're just like one of the scariest looking bugs, and that's why I think we don't like them.
Yeah, just like too creepy crawly.
Too ew, just ew. I don't know. I think for me it's too many legs, and most of them are like big. Like I don't like bugs that can be the size of my hand.
Yeah, I know. I just don't want something crawling on me. And that's what I think about.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Okay. Well, the next thing I have to mention is there's a story in the Torah about spiders.
Oh, no way.
Yes. Well, sort of. It mentions that a spider sort of saves someone's life.
Oh.
So, the Torah, you know, is a religious text, and so I don't really know much about the Torah, but I'm just gonna describe these characters, these people, as I saw them written in the little thing I read.
For sure.
So David, he is like later going to be king of Israel. He was running from some soldiers that were sent by King Saul, and he hid in a cave. And a spider came and built a huge web across the entrance. And the soldiers came by and they're like, okay, well, David's not in here because there's a giant web right here. So like he would have broken it to get inside. So because of the spider, he was able to live because they didn't catch him.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
okay.
So yeah, they could be helpful by weaving some webs.
Yeah.
Yeah. My transition skills.
And that's that on that, folks.
Yeah, so that's that. So in a Japanese legend, spiders in the morning are good, and spiders at night are a bad omen.
Oh, interesting.
So honestly, I feel like I can get behind this one. Maybe.
I get behind the theory of it, but I could never get behind any spider. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. According to Japanese legend, you should only kill the spiders at night. But, I don't know. And then the last cultural thing I have is actually with like magic.
Ooh, okay.
So I guess this falls under like, Wiccan, pagan, that type of stuff. In like magic, it is considered bad luck to kill a spider if you find them in your house.
That's maybe why I have so much bad luck.
Ooh, maybe. I know
I've killed many a spider.
Yeah.
In my house.
Yeah. They say you should capture them and let them outside.
That's funny. Dina always told me the same thing, and I was like, simply, I cannot do that.
See, and she's very witchy. So
yeah,
she gets it.
She does get it. However, I mean, I get it too, but I just can't. Like, I literally could not.
I know.
Physically
honestly,
do that.
I feel that. Yeah. I mean, maybe next time I'll try it too. We'll see.
Yeah, depending on the size of the spider.
Yeah. Oh, this next one, you're not gonna like this. In some traditions, eating a spider between two slices of buttered bread will give a witch great
Please,
power.
please stop. I'm gonna throw up even just thinking about that. Like, what kind of spider? Like a tarantula? A
It just
tarantula
says a
sandwich
spider.
with butter?
It just says a spider. I don't
Okay,
know.
if it was like,
It
okay, I know this is gonna sound really disgusting, but if it was like a really skinny, small spider, I think I could do it to get power, like,
Yeah, like a
powerful.
tiny one.
But like, if we're talking a tarantula sandwich with butter, there is no way. I don't even think I could do that for like $1 million.
I mean, it doesn't specify.
Ugh, okay, well, we're gonna hope that we can do the little one so I can participate.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think I would advise against it just because, you know, you can probably get sick from that.
Of course,
But
I'm not actually gonna do that. But
yeah. So you can also catch a spider and carry it in a silk pouch around your neck to prevent illness.
mm, and what if he bites me through the silk pouch? Because I don't think he's gonna like being in the silk pouch.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Okay.
See, I was thinking that too. I was like, do you capture it and like kill it?
Right. Is it alive?
I don't know.
Questions.
I don't know. And okay, so I have one more point to say. In Old English folklore, if a spider is on your clothing, it means money is coming your way. Or it can also just mean that it'll be a good day.
You know what? I was gonna say maybe I need to see some more spiders in my clothes, but I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah, I don't know if I can either.
I feel like that would make my day turn bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, honestly, I think that one might just be like people were seeing spiders on their clothes and they're like, "Oh my God, get this off of me!" But they like turned it around and they're like, "No, that's actually good luck."
yeah, no,
You know,
definitely.
it's
Yeah.
like turning a bad thing into something good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is my little thing about spiders around the world.
That's really
And
cool.
in different cultures.
That's really cool. I'm so sorry that didn't convince me to join the bandwagon on spiders, but I don't really think anything could. Like, truly.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm not really all about spiders either, but I just, you know, they're cool from a distance, I think.
Oh, they're definitely cool from a distance.
Yeah.
Like, I love Charlotte's Web.
Yes.
Like,
Oh my
I
gosh.
loved it as a kid. And it made me want to like spiders so bad, but like, I just can't. Like, I freak out. Like, freak out. And I don't really freak out a lot of things, truly. But like a spider, But you know what? Maybe they're good luck. Maybe that means something good. Like, I had an infestation. Maybe something good's coming my way. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Could
Let's
be.
hope that's true. Let's hope that's true for me. Well, really switching it up from little spiders to my story this week. I have for you the legend of the Phoenix Lights. Da-da-da. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, the Phoenix Lights. No.
It's not Christmas lights, as you may
Okay.
assume.
Okay.
It's actually an alien story, allegedly, because you, Savannah, requested this from me, and you shall receive. So,
Yay.
so setting the scene for this one is kind of hard because this like whole phenomena or whatever was observed over Arizona and Nevada, so it's like over a lot of space and places. So, but it did happen on March 13th in 1997, which was the year I was born. Fun. So
Okay.
let's just jump right on into it. How about we? Okay, so as I said, it is March 13th, 1997, and it is around 7:55 p.m. when a witness in Henderson, Nevada reported seeing a large V-shaped object flying in the air. And apparently he was like, it's going south to southeast, whatever that
Okay.
means. So, yeah, so that happened at 7:55, and then at 8:15 p.m., a former police officer in a couple of towns over from Henderson, called Paulden, Nevada, reported seeing a cluster of reddish-orange lights disappear over the southern horizon. So, kind of the same thing as the first report, still moving kind of south. So that's interesting, for sure. But at this point, they're like, who knows what's really going on. So shortly after the second report, tons of other reports started coming in all over Prescott Valley, which is apparently like this huge valley in Nevada. And this guy named Tim Lay and his wife Bobby, along with their son and his friend, saw the lights as well. And they apparently got a very good view of these lights as they were driving down the highway this night. So they said they saw 5 separate distinct lights, and it was kind of like in an arc-like shape, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of like a rainbow, but less, severe, circular. So they kind of describe it as these lights looked kind of like they were sitting on top of an imaginary balloon. And I'm like, that's so specific, but I see the visual.
Yeah.
So as they're just looking at these lights, they're looking at them, and they're like, what the heck is going on? They realize actually that the lights are moving towards them.
Oh.
And they're like, oh snap. So they ended up parking on the road, because they're like, we gotta watch this.
Yeah.
Which is definitely what I would do.
I like to think I would do the same, but would I actually? I don't know.
I would definitely.
I got places to be. If I'm driving, I'm probably trying to get somewhere.
I don't know. If you saw something weird in the sky, you really wouldn't stop, even for the story for the podcast. Because I would definitely stop. I mean, I would stop even without the podcast. So.
I guess if it's to this extent, yes, I probably would.
And I also meant to send you a picture. So Google the Phoenix lights so you can see it. So because I need your opinion on if you were to see this in the sky.
If it's just something small, I'm probably.
It's not small. It's not small. It's a little ginormous. So.
A little ginormous.
Okay, so this family, they pulled over on the side of the road, and they're watching these lights get closer to them. And so over the next 10 minutes, the family sat and they watched, and the lights got closer and closer, and eventually the lights were right on top of them. So the family describes it as being completely silent, okay? No sound was heard at all as this thing flew over them, and it vanished over the I'm going to try to say this. I did not look it up how to say it either, Savannah. So,
see, we're bad about that.
Piestewa Peak Mountain. Hopefully that's right. So, one other thing that the family mentioned was that when it flew over them, it was clearly big enough of something to block out their vision of the stars.
Okay.
So, once it flew over them, they could see the stars again. So, it was a big object.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I might stop for that.
Yeah. It's a little at least strange, even if it's not an alien, it's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, so at this point in time, this I'm going to call it a UFO, because a UFO stands for unidentified flying object, and these lights are flying and they're unidentified. So,
yeah. So
UFO.
that is the definition.
Yes, I'm just saying, I don't necessarily mean it's an alien at this point, but we'll get there.
Exactly.
So at this point in time, this UFO seems to be traveling pretty perfectly from Henderson, Nevada, trying to make its way to Phoenix, Arizona. So, as I mentioned, it is called the Phoenix Lights, so that is in fact where it was going. And around 8:30 p.m., witnesses in Glendale, Arizona, so this is kind of the first Arizona people who got to see these lights. And so witnesses described the exact same light formation, and they said that when it got to them, it was flying so high that it was actually obstructed a little bit by the clouds. So I feel like it was at the start kind of flying kind of low, and then when it makes its way into Arizona, it's kind of above the clouds. Now that could mean the clouds in Arizona were lower that night. I don't know how the weather was, but there could be many explanations, I suppose. Let's see here. And at this point in time, police were kind of picking up, something's going on. This thing is flying. There were thousands of reports this night. So they're coming in every second, every minute. So a witness named Chris McLennan was just planning this like quiet evening of like looking out like on her balcony through her little telescope at the stars. Because as I mentioned before, apparently like the stars were supposed to be like very well seen this night. So like a lot of people were out looking at the stars. So that's also interesting fact just to hold on to. So yeah, Chris McLennan, she's just chilling, you know, probably having a glass of wine. She's like, let me just look at my little stars. And so she had her telescope set up and was just, you know, staring off into space when she sees the lights. And she said, quote unquote, I just couldn't comprehend what they were. They were so bizarre, unnatural, and just did not look man-made. So, interesting. So she was like, all right, let me use my telescope to try to get a closer look at them, which is really smart in the moment. So she would be like so close to zeroing in on one of them when one of the lights would start zigzagging across the sky.
Oh.
Like preventing her from looking at them.
Oh. Huh.
Yeah.
I thought they were like flying in a uniform.
They
like,
were.
way.
They were up until like this report.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So like did they know she could see them?
Yeah.
Like it kind of sounds like it. So and I mean there's also the possibility that like Chris could be a liar. I don't know, you know.
Yeah, true, trying to embellish her story.
Yeah. So who knows? So finally around 10 p.m. It made its way to Phoenix, Arizona. And tons of reports saying there are just a brilliant row of lights hovering in the sky, which like this would be so crazy. Like this was 25 years ago. So I can't imagine just imagine this on TikTok. Like you go outside, you see some lights. This is like viral on TikTok and everybody's like, I'm seeing these lights. Like it would be so different today.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But it was big then too.
Yeah.
Like people like couldn't as easily talk to people, but you know, the word was getting out for sure.
I know, like if something happened like this today, it would be all over the internet.
Yeah.
Like
all over. Like within seconds of it happening. Yeah. So, as you already know, because I told you to look up the picture, there are tons of photographs and videos taken of these lights. So we'll definitely post them on Instagram. So definitely go look at them because you really gotta. So, leading into some maybe explanations of what this could be. Because eventually, once it got to Phoenix, Arizona, the lights disappeared. And they were gone. Like, they just, like, flew over a mountain and they were gone. So they were seen all the way from, like, this one place in Nevada all the way continuously until it gets to Phoenix and then disappears.
See, that's the weird part. Because, yeah, where did they go? You know?
Where did they go? Exactly. I lost my spot. Okay, so this guy named Robert Schaefer, a well-known like author and studier of all these weird events, he describes this event as perhaps the most widely witnessed UFO incident in history thus far. So like that's huge, like big, huge, honestly. So I mean, and honestly, he's right because that's like 4 hours of consistent UFO sighting. And all of the stories line up. So, like, that is crazy.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. All of the stories line up.
Exactly. And some people even describe this event as the second biggest case in ufology since Roswell.
Really?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it is.
It's crazy. It's really weird. It's really weird. Like, super weird. So, this guy, Robert Schaefer, kind of, like, made it his life goal to like find out what's going on with these lights. So and also he's the one that named it the Phoenix Light incident. So yeah, he was kind of this was like his story. He kind of broke the news on it and did all the research and stuff, so that's cool. But he believes that there were like two unrelated events that made this incident happen. So what he thinks happened was that this was actually the result of Operation Snowbird, which was a pilot training program operated in the winter by the National Guard. And, like, this is a known, like, operation of the National Guard, apparently. And it was coming out of Tucson, Arizona, which isn't that far, I'm assuming, from Phoenix. Maybe it is. I actually don't know the geography of Arizona. But
yeah, I mean, I don't either, so can't help you there.
somebody in Arizona knows. So, anyways, this guy named James McGaha corroborated Robert Schaefer's like theories, saying that it definitely traces back to Operation Snowbird. And specifically, he knows that the government was trying out this new A-10 aircraft formation because he apparently like worked with the Air Force. So, interesting. But can we believe him? I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So, basically, what these guys are saying is that all these like reports or whatever, all these people, what they saw, which people they assumed, like everybody, like all the witnesses, they assumed that it was like one big aircraft with a bunch of lights on it, making it like the typical kind of UFO, you know?
Right,
but what these
right.
guys are saying is that instead of one giant ship or whatever, that this is actually 10 separate aircrafts flying in a formation with each other.
Okay. Well, see, that makes sense with the idea that like they started zigzagging. Right?
Yeah, it does fit. It definitely does fit. Let's see here. Oh, and apparently another like factor that fits in with this theory is that after the lights were last seen by reporters, it would have given the UFO perfect time to make it to the Davis-Monthan military base that was nearby in Phoenix. So, like, they weren't positive that's where it was going, but they were like, I mean, if it's military, like, it would probably land there because it's been flying for 4 hours. Like, it's probably, out of gas at that point.
Right.
So, interesting. So, I did mention there were 2 parts to his theory. So, that was kind of the first, what I just explained, 10 separate, flying things instead of one. But the second part was that he is specifically talking about the lights. So, let's see here. I keep losing my spot. Bad. Okay, got it. It does. So, if you recall, when I first started telling the story, people were reporting seeing a V-shaped flying object.
Right.
But it actually wasn't until a little bit before, like around 9:30, a little bit before 10, that people started seeing the lights. So at first, it was kind of just like a ship, and the lights weren't on, not all the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they definitely did. They were on in Nevada, but like not at the very, very beginning.
Huh.
So, Robert Schaefer believes that this can be explained by this like A-10 aircraft fleet as well, because he thinks that these lights were actually flares for the like pilots to be able to start to prepare for landing so that they could see, because obviously it's nighttime and it's dark. And he says that like this ballooning effect that the lights were doing, that all these people were like saying that they could see, could be explained actually by the burning flames and like the outer ones kind of burning out a little bit too early. So like maybe that's why some of the lights like weren't as bright or whatever. So, I don't really know about that. Like, why couldn't they have just been regular lights? I don't really know. Don't really know. But personally, I have seen many videos and pictures of the lights. I don't think they look like flares. I think they look like regular lights. What do you think?
I think they look like lights.
Yeah.
Like they don't. Yeah. I'm not getting flare from that.
Exactly. Like flare is like, a flare is not giving like a circle of light. Like it really looks like a light on a car.
Yeah. Yeah. And wouldn't they like go out sooner?
Right. Like you're telling me it's still going to last for like over 2 hours? Flares last for like 10 minutes max.
Yeah.
Unless there's some kind of a flare like the government made that we don't know about. But like, I don't know.
You never know.
It could happen. It definitely could happen. So after Robert Schaefer kind of puts this whole theory out there, the U.S. Air Force actually came out and said that these lights were in fact just a part of this operation, and that the lights were also in fact just flares. So I don't really, okay, I know it's bad for me to say that I don't believe them, but I don't believe them.
Yeah.
I just
No,
don't. I feel like they were like, that guy has a really great theory. Let's not panic the public. Let's say that that's true,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Because I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Here's the big thing. The kicker of this part of the story is that so when the US Air Force like came out and said this, witnesses of the event were like, we don't really believe that because first of all, we saw it with our real eyes, you know. So they were like, how about you guys prove it and do it again? Like fly the fleet over the same thing and we'll all watch and we'll see. And the US Air Force simply said no. So to me, that's a little bit sus. And by a little bit, I mean a lot of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, listen, it's not that hard to do it again. To shut the public up, that we would have no more questions. I would not even be talking about this if that was the case. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's
Like,
a
if
little
they-
weird.
Yeah. If they wanted to shut down the conspiracy theories, they could have done that.
Right. And, like, maybe they don't care about the conspiracy theories, but I don't know. I just don't know. I just feel like that's a little bit weird. Because that would be also, like, do they not need to practice again? Because if that's what this is about, like, the pilots getting practice, you're telling me they practiced one time and that's enough?
Yeah, really.
Because also,
I mean,
what
I
are you
guess
practicing for?
they could say that it's the fuel. Like, they don't want to burn fuel if they're just going to be doing that. But, like, you're right. They would need to practice more. So, I don't
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just a little weird. It's a little weird. So, anyway, moving on from that. Shortly after the incident, the governor of Arizona, at the time, his name was Fife Symington, he held a press conference and said that they actually found who was responsible for the incident. Okay, they're like, bring him out. And out walks a person in an alien costume.
Okay.
which
What?
honestly, he was just making a joke. Which is just why I had to say it, because it's so funny to me. Like, if I was the governor of Arizona, I would have done the same exact thing.
That's so funny. He's like, I'm just gonna make a joke of this entire thing.
Literally.
Guys,
like,
it was
whatever.
me. I'm the alien.
Right. But also, like, okay, so here's the crazy thing. I was going to go into more, but let me just tell you this first. So, my guy Fife, this man, the governor, so what's interesting is that later, like 10 years later after this incident, Fife Symington actually came out and told a UFO investigator that he actually had himself a personal close encounter with an alien spacecraft, but that he decided to remain silent about it because he didn't want to incite panic within the community, and like knowing how like high his status was as obviously the governor, he knew that it would panic people. So yeah. And he also said that the reason that he knew that the craft that he saw was alien was because he was a pilot in the military for all his life, and that he knows every single type of aircraft there is in our world, and what he saw was not that at all. And I'm like, okay, Fife, first of all, I do believe you, but pipe down, because I know you don't know
Right.
every single one in the
Right.
world.
Right. And also, like, you know, to fight against that a little bit, like they could have, you know, built something else that's top secret or something, right?
Exactly.
You know, it's not like he's gonna know everything, because yeah,
Exactly. 'Cause also, he's not in it anymore. So, like, there's
yeah.
new technology. Fife.
Exactly. There's new things. So I don't totally believe that one, but
No, right. But he did say that he was not the only person that witnessed it whenever he did. And so, I don't know. And he said it, like, had nothing to do with the Phoenix Light situation, that it was completely, like, a separate event that happened, like,
Okay.
kind of close after it.
okay.
But, yeah. So, regardless of if we believe Fife or not, like, maybe there's a lot of UFO stuff and weird alien things going on in Arizona, which we already know. Like, that whole part of the U.S., like, weird stuff is going on. Even if it is just the military, it's weird stuff going on there, guys. Weird.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. So I think personally the most weird fact about this entire incident that is like pretty unexplainable is the fact that all of the reports that came in when this like these Phoenix lights were being seen, every single witness said that it was radio silent. Like not even a hum was coming from this craft. And that point is even today in 2022 being made about crafts that we are calling UFOs. Like, for example, like the Tic Tac like pill video that came out like 2 years ago that the government released. Like they were saying that there were no sound, and they were the like Air Force. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Air Force released the video saying that they did not know what that was.
Yeah.
And that same machine also was completely silent, like not even a hum.
Yeah. See, that's crazy too, that technology.
That's what I'm saying. And like we, at least not to any of my knowledge, I don't know if we have anything like that even today. So it's definitely at least not made public. So that's a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially back then, like keep forgetting
25 years ago, like this was literally the year I was born. Like that, like today, maybe. Back then, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Like we barely had the internet going on back then, guys. I mean, like true. I don't know if we had planes that couldn't make any sound, flying objects. Like that's, I don't know. I just don't know. Anyways, there have been tons of movies made about this event, some being documentaries and others being just like horror movies that were just like loosely based on it, which, you know, that's pretty cool. But yeah, what do you think, Savannah? I need to know from you. Do you think this is like an alien related event, or do you think it was the government?
Well, I think it could be, honestly, I think aliens more likely.
Me too. No, I really do too.
But also, I don't know, because the government does get like the military gets a lot of money. So like maybe they could build something like this. So I'm really on the edge of it still.
Okay, me too. I think honestly, it could be a mix of both.
Which you think they're working together?
I'm not saying that they were both aliens and humans like on this ship. I think that like maybe they, like the US military, got some information from like the Roswell situation, all these other alien situations we've talked about, and like have tried to replicate like an alien ship, and maybe that's what they were doing.
Okay.
That's kind of my theory.
Behind that too.
Yeah, like I think that like this was maybe an attempt to try to like recreate some alien technology that they have seen. So, you know, I don't think it's aliens themselves, but I think this technology is a little bit too progressive for when this happened.
Yeah. See, that's what gets me on it.
And also their explanation, I'm just like, okay, just why not do it again? If you really did it, why not do it again?
Right.
That part really gets me. And maybe it's just like the military being like, we don't owe anything to you guys. But also like, I know they needed more training than one flight. I know they did. To get in a perfect formation like that, I don't know.
Right. And okay, actually another thing that leads me to believe maybe it is like an alien situation. Like, why have we not seen these since?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we've never seen this again. That's weird. That is so weird. Like, and maybe some people are like, okay, the technology failed. Like, it's not what they wanted. I'm like, so? We have nothing like this? I have never heard of anything else like this.
Yeah.
Because I had heard of this story before. I've never heard of anything like it since. So that's weird. That seems to me like that's giving alien. And then they got out of there real quick. They said, we don't like this place. Let me go.
Yeah.
And they were right about that. So, if that's the case anyway. But yeah. You know, we don't really have the answers, but that's the legend of the Phoenix Lights. Dun-dun-dun.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's crazy.
I know. It really is. But yeah, you're definitely gonna want to go to Instagram. See, we'll post pictures of the lights. Or you could just Google it if you wanted to. There's videos too. So there's at least that. I'm glad that at least happened like in a time where there was at least cameras to take pictures of it. Because I would not believe it at all if I didn't have the pictures.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, but, if you would, please go rate and review us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as per usual. But yeah, other than that, I really don't have anything else for you guys this week. What about you, Savannah?
Yeah, we're shortening this one up quick this time.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I just got nothing else to say. My throat, she's tired. Somehow I've made it through. Thank God.
See, yeah, good job.
Thank
Good job
you.
on that one.
Sorry, I'm sorry for the voice. Next week, it's going to be back to normal, baby. We're almost there, as it is. So,
Yeah.
thank God. But anyways, I guess we will see you guys next week.
All right, cue the music.